Hi there. Carolyn Stearns, author storyteller, back with you again. And tonight I wanted to read you a little portion from one of my books. I was thinking about it because we're planning Thanksgiving and thinking about the groceries we need to shop for and what everybody wants to have, the expectations of that dinner, and those desserts. So I want to make sure everybody has something they like and their favorites are available and that there's plenty. And I think that's a big part is I'll tend to overcook, but we like the leftovers. They're great. And then for the next couple of days, you can be sure there'll be a turkey pot pie and then maybe turkey sandwiches with cranberry on them. And even better if they're on a homemade bread. There's so many good foods to enjoy. And I like the fact that I don't have to cook another turkey right away. So I like to even slice some up, get it into the freezer and bring it out another like a week later and enjoy it once again. In my book, How Far is Safe, and this is a story of a little boy and his beloved donkey, and they're on an epic journey to find a safe home. And what he really finds along his travels is kindness. And it's because he gives it's reflected back. And it reminds us that we need to give kindness if we'd like it reflected back upon us. So we can make the world a kinder place just by starting out being kind. There's a particular meal in here I thought I would read to you, and I'm going to make your mouth water and think about how we write about meals, how we plan meals, how we share meals with those we care about, and the kindness of sharing food, even with a stranger, as this little boy was when he knocked upon her door. He smiled as he slid onto a chair and sank his teeth into a biscuit and jam. Someone could get pretty used to eating like this. It's good, he mumbled, his words through a mouthful. It was totally apparent to her that he didn't see many good meals. She could count his ribs through the tight undershirt earlier in the day. In the dinner which followed, the biscuits were heaven. There were deep-fried chicken, crisp and juicy, mountains of mashed potatoes piled on his plate, covered with a deluge of rich gravy. There were two kinds of vegetables and, of course, more peaches. When the boy thought he couldn't put another morsel in his mouth, she brought a plate of cookies to the table. They were oatmeal with chewy raisins and just sweet enough. After he cleared his plate, he looked up at the woman. "Do you mind if I call you Grandma?" he asked. She smiled at the boy. "Not at all," she said. "Well, Grandma, I'm so full I don't think I can get off this chair." Well, I expect some of us will be feeling that way on Thanksgiving Day, and we know others will be hungry. So we can all do our part in planning our festivities by being sure to donate a little food to those in need. And every community has somewhere a food bank or a pantry box out by the church or someplace you can leave something to be a part of someone else's feasting. And for this boy, that meal was probably the biggest meal he'd had in his young life and one he would remember for a long time. And that was from How Far is Safe? And that was my book that I put out just a couple years ago, and so excited to share a few pages of it with you. If you read this book, you will become a fan of this boy and his beloved donkey. So that's all for tonight. If you're looking for information on the book, it's on Amazon. You can find it under the title How Far is Safe and my name, Carolyn Stearns. Or you can go to my website, carolynstearnsstoryteller.com. Thanks. Have a good evening. Go shopping. Share that food. Be kind.